here. This is my round 2 match of Edison World Championship Qualifier 8. My opponent is red-gadget and is playing a Vayu Turbo. I could see this from the previous replay, so let's start the game. Okay, well, I'm going to start and let's see if I have any frogs and oi to use. No frog and oi, just sea hunter is not great, but still with double Solex and 2 Monarch I'm not complaining actually. Let's see what my opponent is gonna do. Just pass. I mean, they might have guards, but unfortunately I cannot just pass because I would have really a few cards. No, too many cards. I mean, I would have to discard. This is not a good one, good card to set. So if I attack, my opponent has guards. Still, I would have Solex Caius. I mean, that would be good. It depends what else my opponent is gonna do. If they're gonna Grever, Vayu and stuff, maybe I won't have. You could maybe OTK, but with too many, he would need really many cards. Also, if they summon many monsters, I can Solex and enemy controller, meaning that I can Solex one monster, then tribute it to gain control of another face-up monster, tribute that one to summon Caius, so I could destroy, tribute, banish, whatever, up to 3 monsters of my opponents. Even 2 set monsters. It's not the case, but just to say what's the general scenario. So I will just go for a little of damage. The situation, this is kind of a weak card. Okay, there's guards. I don't think this is a good one to set. Maybe it's more intimidatory not setting anything. So they might think it's I have my own guards. Okay, they're just going to for the damage. Maybe they want to set a monster, maybe like a Raik or whatever. Let's see. Strange. It seems they have a strange hand with he's not setting any spell or traps. Well, in my previous turn, actually, I could set enemy controller and keep all the cards in my hand, but still I wouldn't have liked it, because I would be forced to use enemy controller before I could actually use a Triple Frog or whatever, so I opted for this choice. Now, of course, I cannot just swap frog and wait for my opponent to make my life points to 0. I can Solex, of course, but the problem is for which one of my 2 Monarchs, because Caius is good. I could tribute the token, inflict 1000 damage, and that's fine. Maybe enemy controller to protect it from Goyo with an Armageddon Knight and 1 card in the end, but they're not. He's not missing cards in the end, so that's an option. But there's actually a good option, which is Testalos, because I could discard 1 important resource for my opponent, and then the token wouldn't be able to attack it, and same thing with enemy controller. Also because this is a level 7 monster, and they don't run any, with the Gale or Plug Spreader is not going to synchro summon anything, so they would need to summon. Of course, Caius would not be great, but at that point I could make other moves, and I think that's it. At this point, the reason why I run only 1 Testalos in this deck is because of this matchup, because they have many useful cards to be discarded. Useful for them, like Sirocco, Gardena, Plug, whatever, many cards, Vayu, of course. But they have 6 cards, so there are any chances of cards like Brain Control or Return from the Different Dimension and DAD, powerful cards like that I might hit. I will roll a die, of course. 6. And of course it was one good card for him. I try to protect my life points this way. Storm, okay. I mean, okay, if I hit this one, it would be really different, but still I have to, I mean, this can happen. So with Gale is, I mean, it's not Synchro Summon, just some pressure for damage. If I draw a water monster, I can special summon it. No, this is not the situation. Of course, the actual only choice is Solex, Caius, so to banish Gale. When playing versus Vayu Turbo, it is important to keep in mind what cards we are banishing. Gale is actually a good card, I mean, because of Return from the Different Dimension. If I did the opposite, to put this to banish this one, the main risk would be that, of course, and an immediate that the next turn for my opponent, so I will banish Gale instead, because the return would require more turns, and at the moment it's the only card. There is not even Sirocco or Vayu in the grave. There is Black Spreader, of course, but it would be 2 turners, so it has to wait. I mean, that deck can be really fast with grave and Vayu discarding whatever, but still, yeah, there's nothing I can do. I felt that this was the right choice, setting enemy controller, because it is true that the enemy is, I mean, like a brain control, so with Stun Frog, it's good to revert the board, but this is definitely not the situation. Firstly, because I don't have the Stun Frog in the grave, and it's an important thing. But moreover, I don't even have Battle Fader, for example, because in that kind of situation I want to stop my opponent with Fader and then revert the board with enemy controller. As I'm not going to do it, I'm just worried about Goyo, because with any level 4 monsters they can do it and go for damage. And at the point, Goyo has 2000 defense, I could actually destroy it by battle. Also, no, I mean, that's the main thing, I guess. So, I mean, it's kind of desperate now, but if they have not so fast cards in the end, and I can buy some time, maybe things might be better for me. They set one monster, I can assume it's Raikou, for example. Storm. It's not so bad. I mean, if I didn't draw this one, I didn't set this one, of course this would have been so much better, but maybe he was not going to set 2 cards, but still I had to. And now, if I use it, now, I can send Swap Frog for safe, attack, and maybe next turn I have a Caius, maybe. I mean, it's not easy, the situation. I have to try, but I think that it would be really bad if I don't use EV Storm. Then I get something like Prison Mirror Force, and then my opponent flip Raikou, destroy my only defense, and with the few life points that I have left, I mean, it would be really easy for my opponent to win, and I would have I would be remaining with EV Storm in my hand. Also, in the previous turn I banished the first card, and they have set 2 cards, so I can start thinking they have set return. That would be tragic for me, not just for Gale, but also for the Plug Spreader. So I feel that I have to use... no, I didn't. Oh, that's risky. I would have now used it. Okay, in fact, maybe that was a better move, but you learn from experience as well. So let's see what's gonna happen. Raikou will be terrible to me. We know that it's an hamster, of course, but still some damage, maybe, possibly. I will do enemy controller mostly because I want to use EV Storm. It's not good, actually. I mean, it's not either so bad, but I mean, I know that this one is a Raikou, the other one, it might be a Kaiku, or of course even a Raikou. Mirror International set. Okay. Now I want to banish the set Raikou so that it doesn't even mill, and attack this hamster so that he's not going to summon Goyo. But for next turn, I mean, I would need something like Solex, enemy controller, or stuff like that to summon this one. I've used more than half of them, 4 out of 7, including brain control. So it's not very likely to happen unless this survives, but that's even more unlikely to me at this point. Unless they do have Vayu here and Sirocco in hand and stuff like that. But no, it's not so unplayable as I could hope. 3 dark. Okay. Okay, X game. Gaius would have been a good card. Actually, okay. We don't know. I'm gonna side a few cards. I mean, actually many cards. I think I'm keeping, I don't know, the Aoi, because I like using it when I start first, but I don't remember in this particular situation. So let's see. Of course, Vanity. Okay, not great, okay, but playable. I mean, with this hand, I will set this one, maybe with torrential. I mean, if my opponent does any pre-o effect or trigger like Armageddon Knight, I am not going to use torrential, but I wouldn't even need it. The problem might be when they summon Caius and I'm kind of forced, and that's not great. But before that happens, I have 1 turn to use the Unifrog effect, because if I set dupe next turn, I can flip it, or it's already flipped if my opponent attacks, and then summon Unifrog and attack, direct attacks. So it's interesting, this hand, really interesting. He might think Oi, but let's see. I'm not activating it, so yeah, facts. This is odd. I mean, I'm not going to tribute this frog. Maybe I want to set this one, but maybe I do not. Because my torrential is good on a dupe frog, but not so much on a unifrogs. And after that, my opponent has 6 cards, so next turn they must be something. And if they set a spell or trap card, I can make pressure with Unifrog. If they set a monster, I can Solex for Light and Darkness, so with a Duke Frog in the grave. So I think I'm going to pass. Okay, not the one card that I wished he played this turn, but still this one is okay to me, because of course I'm 98% sure they have the virus. I mean, to do something like that, it's mostly dead, but Unifrog is excellent in this kind of situation, because it generates chains for its effect during damage step. So if my opponent wants to use the virus, they have to do it on the attack or the summon, whatever, and I will get to resolve my Duke Frog, and that's kind of good to me, because if then I want to speed up, I have Cyber Dragon Caius or Cyber Dragon Solex Light and Darkness, so I'm not so bad. This is interesting. This is a really powerful card. Now, I do want to do the, I mean, not shoot, okay. I think I'm very sure that's a virus. I want to do the Unifrog move, but, I mean, so, I want to hide my trap cards. I mean, just this one, by setting it. I could do the same for Solex, but at that point it would be a problem for a Tribone Frog, because I would be forced to do the other things first. And my opponent still might have Heavy Storm, so I'm not so convinced about that, as, I mean, if I set these two, they do the virus, and then they might have Heavy Storm, just to hit my two cards. If I have one chainable card, it's better. So I will set this one, summon, attack, direct attack. They are thinking, but of course they have to use it if they don't want it to be destroyed. Okay, I had a Swamp Frog. Okay, he's saying something that it is not true at all, because you have to discard it. No, because the Frog adds one card, it doesn't draw. I mean, you cannot draw a specific card, while this applies only on drawn cards, so I'm not actually sure if it's totally in bad faith about this, but let's assume as it is. Yeah, true luck. They remember it, but I wouldn't forgot something like this anyway, especially if I'm playing the card. But let's see. I'm quite an advantage, because he actually used two cards to destroy actually one of my cards, because Duke Frog replaced itself, so with effect. So let's see what they're going to do. If they're going to fill up their grave with Armageddon Knight, Graver and stuff, I have this incredible card to actually stun my opponents by bringing back the cards, and that's great. Dyna could be a problem, but they know I have Solex with a Caius or Sidra, so I don't know if they're going to do it. Also, they don't know I have this one, it could be Torrential, Mirror Force, whatever. So let's see if they're going to do, they're going for the damage, or for the, I don't know, ramping. Okay, discard, that's kind of good, they discarded this one as well, so they have, I can actually, well, I kinda risked a dud at this point, but I think that was kind of good, because he normal summoned this one. If he special summoned that, they would not be able to do this, value effect because of this card. And then Solex Caius would have been terrible for him, so I think it's kind of good. They still might have it, just, they may just not want to use it yet. This is destroyed, second turn of virus. Now, I think he thinks he is kind of safe against Red and Darkness Dragon that I see, because of Vayu and the Sirocco in the grave. So even if they have seen my move, which is Sidra, Solex, Light, and Darkness, they might think, okay, but at that point, it will be discharged. But I think I'm going to do this one first, and then I will proceed that way. Okay, so Sidra, those two monsters back to the deck, shuffle. Okay, now this is a really good Light and Darkness Dragon. I don't have so many cards, but this is quite a heavy monster. Okay, I don't know what happened. Ah, yeah, I wanted to use this. Okay. So he might be thinking maybe if they have Sirocco and one spareable spell, they might use it to destroy it, but still I would be summoning something from the grave. It could be Sidra, it could be a duel frog, so I don't know. Just one, meaning it's not chainable. Third turn. Vanity, not bad at all. No more virus for this now. Okay, they took damage. My opponent knows that they have to do something next turn. They might have chainable cards. Okay. And I could actually set this one by I feel that I don't want to. I could actually, and then summon Vanity by tributing it, so that I could pressure even more. But it's okay. I did it. I don't feel great with that move because if this is destroyed, then that's destroyed as well, and I cannot use it to special summon in the worst case. So yeah, it's also true that I have to dupe frog here. Maybe I have sided out one, so I have no dupe left, and this is not so great anymore. Even the Unifrog is gone, so maybe I must have thought that. Oh, okay, yeah, Sirocco plus the spare card. Okay, it's interesting he didn't use Sirocco effect. Maybe he doesn't know this wrong Edison ruling. In Edison, you can actually use the effect of Sirocco even if it's just alone. It doesn't make any sense, but this is how it's ruled. But okay, this point is kind of okay. Of course, I cannot use Triple Frog to discharge it, but there is something good here because I can actually, no dash shot, okay. I can actually tribute this one to summon Vanity. Now, if they have two chainable cards, including Mirror Force, okay, they can destroy this one, but still I can summon Sidra and attack. If they have one chainable card, one chainable card, like any card plus Dimensional Prison, they can banish Vanity Fiend, and this would not be enough to destroy Sirocco, but then I could attack, lose 200 damage, special summon Sidra, and then attack. So I could actually be destroying all those cards. Also, this is after side, so one of those cards could be pulling the rug. Maybe another virus, but it would be terrible for him because he knows that I have tribute monsters in my hand, and that they would lose the only monster protecting the ref points, so it's not in a good situation. And Vanity Fiend, sounds kind of good here. I can negate it. I must negate it. A few more damage, and 200 life points left. Caius in my hand. Solex Caius, that's kind of good. 3 dark, but Vanity on the field. Okay, so if I had Aoi, maybe I've studied it out. And I think that's mostly the difference. Now this is game 3. Okay, this is kind of a balance hand. Now, I will analyze it with the 6 cards, so let's see. Okay, they just pass. Okay. Okay, to Red and Darkness is not great, actually. Sidra Kiku can be quite of a good team, not at this point, but it's good. Swap Frog is okay. Yeah, I mean, it's great. In this situation, I mean, it's the only normal summon I can actually think of doing. I know my opponent runs Soul Release, also they might use DD Crows, but still, even if they do, after I've sent my Tribune, I can Sidra Vanity, which is technically a -1, but in many situations can be really helpful. So I think that could be the case. Also, if I draw a water monster and my Tribune is still in the grave, I could special summon and tribute for Light and Darkness, which is not a bad move, actually. Now they have 7, they have to do something. This is more than something, but still this is 1 Tribute banished. Oh god, if I had it before, would have changed everything. I mean, but still, I mean, I didn't attack with Swap Frog because of in my previous turn because of Gorts, and that's not something that I always do. I mean, it's not that I don't attack if my opponent has Gorts, but I have Vanity and double Light and Darkness, and with no spell to use my opponent monsters to summon my tribute monsters. So it was really not good to risk a Gorts for 1000 damage and all the stuff that could follow. At this point, Sidra, it's really good. I could Sidra Swap Frog and then Swap Frog to send another frog, make some damage. But I could also do Sidra Vanity. I mean, my opponent has so many cards in their hand. Maybe they didn't set because I don't have any frogs, so they don't want me to Soul X Caius. But they might have many out to Vanity, but also they might have many monsters, many normal summon and stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna opt for this second scenario. And I'm also doing this because I have Gorts, so if this is somehow destroyed and then you manage to make a direct attack, I can Gorts and then Light and Darkness. And if they don't, I have Swap Frog next turn, or Kaiku. So I feel not so safe, but with many other options if something happens to Vanity. Okay, triple was not really good. I mean, I should have decided auto at least one. But let's see. I could use Swap Frog or not. Maybe with, I mean, Torrential and Mirror Force, they could be, both of them could be good against me. Let's see if they have Pulling Drag, not so great in any case. But I'm pressuring for damage. Now, if I leave it here, I mean, I don't have any reason to keep it here, to tribute it like next turn, because I don't have a single tribute monster, so I think I will bounce it. Okay. And next turn I could have, I could summon Kaiku. Sirocco. I mean, he's not going to summon Gate special, of course. So what's the point? Aggressive attack. Virus. I mean, Virus doesn't prevent the attack from happening. So I think I will just summon Kaiku and go for damage. Okay, that's fair. Okay, Did my normal and what? Let's see what's gonna happen. They have 6 cards, they had 1. Okay, Swap Frog, of course. They didn't use Torrential or Mirror Force in the previous turn, so I feel quite safe. I should have sent something, actually. Just not to draw it. I could try to attack with this one. I mean, now that we see the value, it's okay. Yeah, but maybe I was worried about Raikou. And this way I have to force it to destroy this one and make damage. Now they have 3 ducks, including Sirocco and Vayu. These one are less helpful, but still he is low on life points, so it's not great for him. I have set red-gadget break. Maybe I should not leave the Swap Frog, but I think that I am leaving it there. I can chain it. Of course, you have 3 Light and Darkness Dragons, so 1 can be used. Okay, there was a Sirocco Virus next the 2 turns previously, and I mean it was maybe obvious, but still not useful. Now let's see what's gonna happen. Dyna. Okay. Yeah, if I bounced it, I would have made. I mean, at this point, it's going to take some damage. Unless it is somehow defended, but it is not. If I draw into a Kaiku, maybe I win, even if Vanity is gone. But I don't. Okay, it's not kind of bad card, because let's think about this. This is 12. If I normal this one, it's 22. And he would be left with 400. So maybe in 1 turn I can actually win it. I'm sending it, not to draw another one. I mean, I'm going to direct attack. Now, let's see. If something happens, if I leave this one, I mean, it's not technically bad, leave it here. Except if my opponent has something, I mean, what option do they have? Gale, Brain. I mean, in case of Brain Caius, I think that this would be bad. But still, Brain, I mean, Gorse would not be of any use. Another option is when they do Armageddon Knight or Greffer and discard Necro Gardener, so that they can negate 1 attack and then summon Tribute for Caius. And that's, I mean, or a trap card. And I mean, there's not actually a wrong or bad decision. I felt that by keeping this here, if we draw into, I don't know, Raikor or something like that, I could tribute it for maybe a Raiza or Caius that I draw. But still, I think that this was better in my end, actually. Okay, yes. Necro Gardener. So I took some damage, and what do I do? That's terrible. I mean, I would not give up my Vanity Fiend for Light and Darkness with Vayu and Sirocco in opponent's grave. The only good thing is that I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not good. I mean, they have 5 monsters, 5 dark monsters. By using this one, they get to 3 if something happens to this one. But also they have Greffer, so it's complicated. Of course, the interesting thing is that they have 400 life points left. So Unifrog direct attack. Prison would not be enough. Mirror Force, it would be enough, but I would have Greffer. Of course, they have Dyna, the last Dyna, but still I could potentially survive. Let's see, of course they have one of Necro Gardener, so one attack is not going to to be effective. So I summon this one, Unifrog. Go for direct damage. They can change. They can use it, and then use it this one to negate this. Now, if they have Chaos, it's this so bad to me, because depending on the situation, it would be terrible. I mean, the other cards, because I take 1000. Okay, they can, of course, this card. Okay, they have cards. Another Vayu, maybe. Oh, Plug Spreader, of course. I think that Gorse is not gonna be helpful, and that's this Unifrog. It was a problem because this is 47 less 4. It's exactly 43, and I don't have any chance to summon Gorse. So this, okay, the other one doesn't actually. It doesn't actually need that one. Okay, and this was such a pity. Let's see what they had. I mean, it was so close. I should have set out one Light and Darkness, I guess. And I mean, different moves I don't really know. I mean, the next card was Reggae Break, that would have been really helpful to destroy Grether, because it was obvious he was going to tribute it for Caius, but still that's kind of fair. So this was the first loss of the match. I mean, of the tournament, and okay, that's it. Thank you for watching.